earlier. And here on the East Coast. So let's go see if we're live on YouTube. Well, apparently we're not. Yeah, there we go. Now we're finally up. All right, so in a second we'll get to my notes. Yeah, give me a second. Turning the TV off. The news side of me is very distracting, and stuff that we already know about. We already know about it. So it's Friday. It's Friday again. Thank God. I really needed 2 days off. It was a great start to the day. Well, it was a little misty, a little rain, but it was getting warm and had plenty of work to do and kept busy most of the morning. Kept as busy as I wanted to be. So, yeah. And towards the end of the day, that was another story. I mean, I don't know if I've told you all about the floods that we've been having in what we call the Ruth House. It's actually assisted living. And been over there for a few months now, doing painting over there, and actually took the role of maintenance when the guy who was the head of maintenance there quit. Said he had enough and just left. But they got another guy now, and I'm still training him. So in any case, I am painter / maintenance. Another flood that happened just before, about an hour. I'd say, yeah, right after lunch. I was called over to the Jewish home, which is, it's about I don't know, I'd say in a half a mile walk, but I don't think it's that far. Maybe it's just a quarter of a mile, maybe half of the half. But in any case, now that we're all locked down, there's only one entrance. It's, front entrance lobby to both the buildings. So in order for me to get to the Jewish home, I mean, I gotta walk that mile or a half mile, because now I gotta go up in front of the building and around to the front. Anyway, so we got called, 10 minutes after lunch, after I was called there to be shown a special project that I was supposed to be doing over there. Come to find out, it was just basically hanging a TV in the room that I put up some wallpaper in. Well, they call it, it's that wall murals thing. And it's not wallpaper. It's paper that looks like wallpaper, but you got to peel the back off. It's sticky, and if you don't get it right the first time, you can forget it, because most of the time it won't come off right. So anyway, another flood. This will be like the third, fourth flood in a month and a half. They just seem to come once a week. This time it was a toilet overflowing and the shut-off valve. And this has only happened since this new guy came in. All of a sudden, we can't shut the shut-off valve underneath the toilet off. It just keeps going. It won't shut off. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can only speculate. But sometimes you got to, have a little strength to those shut-off valves and shut them down. But in any case, where were the people who do their checks on the elderly? I mean, it just seems like every time there's a flood there, somebody is not doing their rounds, or else they would have found this water leak and reported it a lot sooner. But of course, a lot of damage. A lot of water damage, and we had to move them out of that room and into, thank God the room was only, 2 doors down the hall, because they had to have another room by the time, at least substantially anyway, the big stuff that I'm responsible for moving as maintenance. And we got that done. But I don't know. This head of maintenance he disappeared at least once, and right in the middle of important movement. In any case, I just can't believe the flooding that's going on over there. So All right, that has nothing to do with news. That's just that, and I come home and I hear the state of Connecticut, Mount, whatever the heck his name is. I didn't vote for him. They're Democrats. I guess he was announcing that everybody who is not essential to the workforce must stay home. And I don't know, a couple of people have asked me, "Oh, well, were you home today?" I says, "What the hell for? I'm essential personnel. I mean, at least the slash maintenance part of it is essential. Yeah, I mean, we still got to do business. I mean, I know we're basically shut down. We're taking care of the elderly, making sure that they don't get infected, but they still have to take in new residents. You know, they still have to come in. Any case, so I guess I'll find out Monday whether I actually am essential enough to go to work. So whatever the case is, because actually I work in Massachusetts, so by the time I actually am driving in Connecticut, and by the time I get into Massachusetts, I think if any cop was following me, I'd be over the state line before he could pull me over. So he probably would have to catch me on the way back. Anyway, so yeah, people are going to be fined if they're found on the road, you know, going to non-essential places. I mean, even Californians, I believe, are allowed to go to the grocery store and the pharmacies and whatnot to get supplies. So, in any case, let's put this, our fair use emblem up, and then we'll get going. Basically the same old stuff anyway. Let's get back to here. All right, so we're going to do, well, what I got for notes. Of course, the stock market was down another 913 points today. So I don't know, the feeling I got today, folks, is that this is it. I mean, we are pretty much between now and who knows, a couple weeks, a month and a half. They're talking that this coronavirus is still escalating, but they've hit a flat line where I don't know what that means. That they've leveled it off by keeping people home. It's what I told you it was going to happen. I mean, it's obvious. They're going to keep people home, and they're going to let this thing drag on for a year. They're going to try to. And that's what it does when you keep people home and this thing is still out there. It's going to be out there. It's always out there. It mutates or is manipulated in some way, and it's always going to be out there. So it's just like seasonal flu, you get the flu, you have certain periods of cold weather that it's around, and then it warms up, it goes away, or not really, it just goes dormant until the cold comes back. That's basically what the coronavirus does. I mean, it's not going to go away. Maybe that particular strain that is, seems to be only attacking the elderly. Of course, now there's people coming out saying that there's reports of younger people, especially in Italy, where they had a record 600 plus people die in one day, more than China. So I wonder what's going on there. I mean, they're close to China. Maybe that second strain kind of move into Italy. I mean, skip a few countries and go right to Italy. What? I don't know. They deal a lot with China. Their economy has a lot to do with China. That's the big, what everyone's talking about. That's why that they're so much more the center of attention over there when it comes to this virus. And of course, New York, almost in a total lockdown. I just hope that, my wife is supposed to be coming home today from New York. She said she'd be home between 6 and 7, but we will see. She had to stay late. and she got one more week there. So I'm just praying, maybe, some other prayers will help too. If they pray that she be not locked down in New York and have to stay there for who knows how long. Now, I don't know about the hotel industry. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that that's essential personnel? I don't think so. I mean, first of all, hotels are for people who are traveling and, uh, doing seminars, whatever the reason. I would think that that is non-essential personnel in a hotel. So anyways, I guess we'll find out. My wife should be able to tell me that when she gets home. So let's go to the coronavirus updates. Let's go to this one right here. This was yesterday, I believe. 3/19/20 on Thursday, 4:50 p.m. This is what we cataloged. 237,996 total confirmed. 11,274 in the U.S. Italy, right below China. I mean, they got half of what China has already. And China's had it a lot longer. And apparently, I guess it was yesterday, maybe it was yesterday, that China actually reported no new confirmations of anybody having the coronavirus in 24 hours. That's good news if it's real, if that's the case, if any of this is real. Okay, I'm sure I'd like to hear from people who may have lost a loved one. Obviously it would be real to them. And so that was yesterday. And so let's go look at today. And this is today's 266, 115 total confirmed. That's about another 30,000. Italy jumped 6,000 in one day. Now, I'm just wondering. So there you go. There's the totals. The U.S. is up to 16,000. They jumped up quite a bit too. That was 5,000 for them too, wasn't it? 16. What was this one down here? Yeah, 11. Okay, so I want to know the total amount of deaths, because they did say 600 and something. Is it going to give me that? Is it going to give me that? Come on, I did something over there. It's still talking about China. Spain, Iran, China. Iran, yeah. I mean, Iran, they're talking about this maybe a different strain in Iran. I mean, I've heard that it was not just older people, that it was, very, undefined of the people that were dying. But supposedly they said that they were digging so many holes that you could see where they were putting these graves from space. I mean, from satellite. But of course, some of these satellites, man, years ago, they were able to see a dime on a street somewhere from the sky. So, yeah, I mean, what does that actually mean, really? So I'm trying to find Italy, probably passed it. 39 deaths in New York. Deaths, let's see, Iraq. Yeah, it should have been up at the top. There we go. Italy, 4,000 deaths. They surpassed China, but which supposedly says they only had 3,000 deaths. That's big news. Italy is not that big. Small country. All right. So in any case, let's just go to the news. This we found out the other day as well, that they are going to be using some malaria medicine to combat and this is not the title here, but this is not the headline, but while I have that in my head, yeah, they're going to use, I don't know, Will Watchman calls it quinine, but it was another name for it. In any case, I put out this warning now. I meant to put it out 2 days ago when I did Wednesday's news, but just skipped right over it for some reason. But this warning really should go out to people who are having any kind of symptoms. The WHO warns against taking ibuprofen, with the COVID-19 symptoms. So, why? I do not know. The anti-inflammatory drugs could worsen the effects. That's all it really says in the brief couple of sentences. So, ibuprofen. That's not a good medicine to take for a prolonged period of time anyway. It does more damage than good. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is big news. The mainstream media is covering. It's not covering just this one person, but let's read you the title here from Natural News. Senate Intel chair dumped over 1.7 million of stock a week before the market tanked, while downplaying the coronavirus threat. She was not the only one. There are big questions going out to 4 senators who did the same. 4 senators in total. It wasn't just Richard Burr. And I forget one of them. One of them was on the Fox News earlier in an interview. And 2 of the senators are claiming, well, I don't handle that stuff. Somebody else handles it for me. I don't know what they're doing. I didn't know about any of this till a couple weeks later, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, the stock market it's just a game the rich people play. And, they try to get, people like us in it so that we can give them our money, in another way and lose it. Yeah, never wanted to do that. So anyways, there's going to be some questions asked, and they're going to have to answer them. There may be, more committees and so on and so forth. I mean, they just got caught. I know it's been done before. I don't like the stock market. I mean, it's up there in the list of number one, doing taxes. That's probably my top number one. 2 is anything political. Well, I know now that I'm getting used to it, probably dropped to number 3. But stock market's pretty up there. In trying to understand it and figure it out, yeah, it's up in top 5. Yeah, so he uploaded a significant portion of his stocks back in February in the report, which first appeared on the online news site ProPublica. Burr sold off between 628,000 and 1.72 million of his holdings in 33 separate transactions on February 13th. On 33 separate transactions. And then, plus 3. I don't know. Yeah, that's just, one senator. Yeah, the longer they stay in it, obviously the more corrupt they get and the more money they steal. It's just crazy the amount of money these senators hold. And they're supposed to be public servants, they're supposed to be working for us. It's obviously not that way. Yeah, so, what really, I don't know, I kind of did a double take, I ordered my food again tonight. I ordered Chinese food. Yeah. And this is probably the second time I've ordered Chinese food, within this coronavirus thing. But this time when the guy came, he was wearing a surgical mask and wearing gloves. And I had to, I did a double take on it, and I actually asked him, "Are you sick?" He says, "No, no, 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 I'm not sick." And I says, "Well, what do you got that on for? Am I sick? You think I'm sick? You protecting yourself from me? I mean, what is it?" He really couldn't tell me. He might have, gestured that it's for you, for your protection. So you think that he's, not sick, just for, but it's just crazy out there, man. It really, really is. And it doesn't have to be this way. I mean, I know we need to try and, I don't know, why do we need to try and, well, the reason they give you is the reason why they're trying to, put some people in their houses and keep people, out of crowds so that the hospitals and other healthcare agencies don't get overwhelmed. Now, I see the point, but to what point, to this is where I'm obviously having hard words to come up about this, because yes, people are going to be infected whether they stay in their house for 2 weeks or a month and a half and then go back out. Somewhere along the line, you're probably going to get it. I mean, some people, not everybody gets sick when they get it. They just get it. And probably most of you don't even know. But to tank the economy, to crush America's ability to make money, participate in the world economy, to that point, that we, don't overwhelm our medical health care system, our hospitals? Are you serious? We could just ask for help from the rest of the world like everyone else does. That New York, what do you call it? The hospital ship, off the, what was it? Was it California or was it New York? I thought it was California. Could have been New York. I mean, just park a couple of those ships, and transport people there. To tank the economy on the continent? No, obviously, people, there's much more going on here than meets the eye. I mean, people are talking about, troop movements all around. Of course, we know about that too. If you're going to declare some kind of, medical martial law, or we'll call it, because that's actually what it is. You don't have curfews because you're not allowed to even go outside. So, if you go outside, I don't know, what do they do? Take you away to some dark tunnel? I mean, they don't want to feed you and take care of you. I don't know. It's just, it's just the feeling that I have, and I don't know if I'm going to call it a feeling. It's just that it's just like, some of these times you get a deep gut reaction that is not necessarily a bad reaction, but something bad is going to happen to things around you. And still knowing that it's going to happen. Psalms 91 says it's going to happen. And all I could do is watch. And knowing that Jesus is right on the coattails of all this, that, if this thing is actually what it actually is, and, we're already in a recession, this could take us right into a depression. I mean, my bank wasn't even open today so I could drop my check in there. Now, isn't giving kind of essential? When people got to put money in there in order to spend it, right? If you can't cash my check, I mean, I'm not going to be able to spend any money. They don't care. They're obviously, they want to take the economy down and out. Sending you $1,000 in the mail is just, it's kind of, what do you call it? Short of bribery. So you won't think about anything else. Just think about the $1,000 you're going to get. I mean, how many people have to stay out of their work for so amount of time? I mean, besides flooding the unemployment offices, everywhere. I mean, what was it? Israel, all the way up to 1.2 million people filing for unemployment in Israel. I believe I have that in here somewhere. Anyway. Yeah, so the president got pretty pissed off at one of the reporters today. But anyways, here in this one, he mentioned something about the deep state, and then this his little puppet right here, medical, puppeteer, just puts his head down, his hands on his face, shakes his head, like, oh no, what did you just go and say? But Donald Trump mentions the deep state right here. Why, I don't know, but here it is.
Or as they call it, the deep state department. If you don't mind, I'd like to have him go back and do his job. So does anybody have any question? Please. Yeah, how about you? Only for the exemptions on work.
Anyway, about that. He yelled at a reporter earlier for asking a very stupid question, and I forget what it was. It was on TV. I don't have a clip of it, but he had a right to do what he did by telling that reporter that she or he, I forget who asked the question. You're a bad reporter. He's done that before with others. But they really did ask a really stupid, idiotic question. Any case. I don't know if you want to switch it up a little bit here and go to the weekly volcanic activity report. I know I was going to come out Thursday and tell you about a volcano that erupted. I believe it was Thursday. It could have been Tuesday. And anyway, so weekly update and new activity. So new activity and unrest for 2 volcanoes from March 11th to the 17th. During the same period, ongoing activity was reported for 19 volcanoes. 19 volcanoes, ongoing activity. How many does it take to, put these ash particles in our atmosphere? All I know is that we've had a pretty mild winter so far. And somebody did say, I heard somebody mention this morning, like snow for the weekend or Monday. I'm going to go check. I thought I heard like 4 inches of snow. And what the heck? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, snow and rain, 1 to 2 inches of snow on Monday, 39 degrees. Yeah, that's going to be a non-event again. Yeah, it's just been too mild. It's been, I kind of like these winters. They're couples, 1 or 2 snowstorms. Nobody died. It seems like as soon as I bought the new, snowblower, because the other 2 broke down, even after I fixed both of them again, as soon as I bought that one, not a drop of snow that I could have plowed with that snowblower. None of it. Had to scrape a couple, there was a couple 1-incher snowstorms, but yeah, you'd figure with all these ongoing volcanoes, 19 of them now, okay, that I know somebody over there in Europe is they're being threatened with a cold front that's coming in after they've also had a probably a record warm winter season. So there's your list of, I'll leave that link like I usually do, and you can just go to the watchers and get it. They have that normally every Friday. That's when I get it anyway. So there you have it. Let's go. Oh, thanks. I don't even remember what the heck this article was for. Oh, this is the one for the unemployment. 500,000 to 1.2 million Israelis to face unemployment from this coronavirus. And it doesn't have to be that way. These people still can go to work. Yeah, there'll probably be people who get infected and people who will get sick. And then the ones who are ill or have some kind of deficiency with their immune system or whatever, kidney problems, heart problems. Yes, there is a risk. I mean, those people, you should probably keep them home. Yes. The healthy ones, send them back to work, damn it. Nothing, no reason why they can't be in work. They get sick, they're healthy enough to go through it. Yeah, and so in the meantime, you know, we're looking at stuff like this that's supposedly coming in May. This one, I don't know. I just found this out there. Asteroid could cause atmospheric explosion if it gets too close. Well, that goes for any asteroid that gets too close to the atmosphere. Yes, they all are at risk of exploding, like that one in Russia or Siberia, and the one over Russia where it blew in the windows and doors of the industrial plants, and well, a lot of things got smashed up that day from that one exploding. But I don't know. You could talk about that one too. And I saw the video, and I'm pretty sure something else came in and hit this meteor or whatever it was and blew it up. So it wasn't just a meteor blowing up, it was something else hitting it as well. But anyway, NASA is warning that an asteroid following an Earth-intersecting orbit is approaching the planet, and data collected by the agency indicated that the asteroid is large enough to create a violent explosion in the atmosphere should it come too close. The approaching asteroid is being monitored by NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, which is tracking the object known as 2020 EF. I'm just thinking about, you know, frequencies. 2020, extremely low frequencies. Anyways, that more than 10,000 miles per hour. I'm trying to find out when the heck it's supposed to be coming. According to CNOS, 2020 EF is an Aten asteroid, which means it follows a natural orbit that crosses Earth's path. As indicated in NASA orbit diagram, the asteroid follows a very wide orbit around the sun and almost follows the same path as Earth. So when is it going to get here? So I'll hit the more button. We'll see if that gives us more. Yeah. We already know that. When? Yeah, they're now what? Oh, yeah, lovely ads. So, unless you see it, I don't see when it is coming either. Has a diameter of 98 feet. 98 feet. All right, so down here, CNOS said the asteroid is expected to approach Earth on March 18th. 2 days ago? Are you serious? This is March 20th, is it not? January, February, March. It's March 20th, right? March 18th. What the heck? Usually you get this stuff from... Yeah, is that where we got it from too? No, we got it from, we can get it from them. All right, let's go back, find out who we got it from. Because this is 2 days old stuff. This is very surprising. You know, it is marked yesterday. But, you know, even if it was marked yesterday and I got it today, they don't normally put out things that have already happened. So here's March 19th. If that's the day they put it out, that means Day before that is when this thing supposedly was going to pass by. That's the date we got anyway, right? Unless it was for something else. Anyways, we should always be looking up. There's a lot of things that may be going on that may also coincide with everything that's going on right now. I mean, we're talking about 5G, okay? That could be, this could all be a, what do you call it? A deception, kind of, or a distraction. More of a distraction than a deception. A distraction to keep you busy or keep you in your houses. I mean, some other people are talking about, white paneled vans out there installing 6G on poles and towers and other places, especially near schools. And the reason why they shut down the schools for 2.5 weeks. So now they're saying not until April 8th, which is, probably 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. But in any case, that could be going on. There's a lot of things that could be going on right now. Yeah, they could be taking this thing for, we've talked about it before, for the New World Order, one world business banking, beast system, New World Order. I mean, also, they could be doing this to keep us inside, to prevent us from being able to see exactly what is coming. Now, I'm going to leave the link to Gil Bazard's site, Planet 7X. He's the one that came out with those predictions. He did a lot of data. He cross-referenced to a lot of biblical stories. Like, you remember the 180,000 men that came to fight against Joshua? Or Joshua was actually told it. He had to go out and get rid of all these the remnants of the giants, the Nephilim, and other offshoots and offspring from them. That's what he was doing. That's what Joshua was doing. He was taking care of, I don't know what somebody said before, 33 countries, 33 kingdoms or something like that. But anyway, there was that one night that Joshua was, they were resting one night from this battle, and 180,000 of the enemy, and only the enemy died of this fire and brimstone that rained down from the heavens. That's in the Bible. That's a true story. It only hit, the enemy. But Gil Bazard was able to put those circumstances, and line them up with this Planet 7X and its visitations. But anyway, supposedly our government, since 72, excuse me, have known about this, have seen it. I guess they're tracking it with the Vatican's Lucifer, that telescope that could see in infrared. This may also be the time that it's coming too, because he has updates out there. He's got an update saying that this thing, this new brew, Planet 7X, we will be able to see in 2021. Now, he had other dates out there for maybe a year ago, but those were the dates that he picked. But 2021 was the most unlikely one, and it looks like it now may be the most likely. But in any case, he has all the data here. You don't have to order these CDs. It's just to support him. If you have the money and you're so led, go do so. If not, the information is free. He has a lot of PDFs that you can download, including his latest updates. Go to his Facebook page, Gil Bazard. Okay, there's his name. There's his Skype name. He's got Facebook down here somewhere too. But he'll give you that. And that may be what's happening too, because Gil talks about what's coming in, not only just with Nubu, but what's coming in front of Nibiru and behind Nibiru. I mean, this Nibiru, this planet is pushing debris, along with it. And of course, debris always ends up falling, just like comets. But in any case, I mean, is this what the elite are creating all this for? So that the roads will be empty, so they'll be unseen as they travel into their little holes in the ground and disappear, for what's, and nations are not nations right now, kind of perplexed for what's coming. I mean, not just the coronavirus, this so-called epidemic, deadliest epidemic, which it's not. But they may be using all this stuff and the Bible and everything else against us to, and it obviously they've already instilled fear in most of the population. So anyways, that's another thing to look out for as well. And I'm going to be studying some of Gil's updates over the weekend. So that's where we'll go. So on this guy, my brother sent me a video today, actually, and it was a video of Inside Edition doing an interview with him at his car, getting ready to get on his Streamline jetliner or something like that. But here he is again, popping up on the Facebook page. Somebody, from World Watchman. Prosperity Gospel millionaire Kenneth Copeland screams at as follows: unemployed due to coronavirus cutbacks. Don't you dare stop tithing. Yeah, don't you dare stop tithing. You still have to give him money. This guy, when he was doing his interview, I mean, he just looks evil. Where his eyes are, his little teeny pupils. I mean, he's apparently either possessed or both got some kind of medication that he's taken. What's it doing now? That, dilates his pupils like that. I mean, this is crazy. Doesn't that look evil, man? It really does look evil to me. Anyway, well, what was that? Wow, talking about evil, and it tried to highlight something very interesting. And so anyway, I've been sent these videos that I haven't been able to watch yet. This one, on the final days, she takes a lot, I guess she listens to Mike from around the world and takes a lot of what he says and basically does these videos about these FAA cams that she watches. And we see in the beginning here, she thinks that the elite are all taken off on this spaceship. Okay, this kind of puts it all in perspective for me. Now, it looks like, and me and Will Watchman agreed on this one anyways, that this does look like some kind of air balloon, with fins like sharks or something like that. Could be just a finger. I don't know what the heck it is. You could speculate. Probably the same thing she's doing. This arc, she says, is all the elite are going to. $10 billion per seat to get on this arc. To go where? I mean, I know we got a Space Force now. I've seen actual spacecraft in somewhere in space. I mean, Dark Sky Watcher. Actually, I think he was the one that actually was able to focus in on at least one ship in space in our outer orbit. So anyways, man can't get past that Van Allen belt. So if something gets past there, it's just a ship, it's just a drone maybe, unmanned until they can figure it out. But there's a barrier there for a reason. So in any case, given that one that I've started listening to, I mean, she's always finding, planets in our atmosphere, okay? Dots that I've seen many times on pictures and because I take a lot of pictures, at least used to. But she's got some good stuff too, man, because I've seen, like this, some of these pictures and these spheres actually rotate. I mean, it looks like they're rotating. But my problem with all this, people, is this. Now anything can be manipulated, but not just that. Even if these things were in our atmosphere and, going through their own rotation, why are they there one day and, minutes later they're gone? Sometimes minutes later. And they're different objects. It's not just the same one appearing at the same orbit, right? And then going away and coming back again the next day or the next couple days, whatever its orbit is. But it's not that. That's not the story that's being told. They just show up, and then they're gone one day and here the next. I mean, you figured if they were here, they're in a certain orbit, either whether it's their own or whether it's around us. So, but she does come up with some great pictures for this so-called sun simulator that she tracks every now and then. Pretty convincing story there, but I don't know. If all these planets were here, so, this is another one, a different one. And why does that not show up every day or every month or whenever its rotation is around us or around them? That's why I don't get some of this stuff, man. Anyway. And this lady, this is just like the second time I've seen her video. I don't really listen to her a lot. Somebody pointed her out. And the one today, she talks about roadblocks in Montana, martial law coming. You got to go through the gauntlet and you got to take vaccines. If you don't take vaccines, I don't know, big trouble. I don't know. Tried to verify that with somebody who I know in Montana. Hasn't got back to me yet. I don't know. I also asked my brother, truck driver, who's driving across the country. He goes east coast to west coast. He does it, for a month and a half straight, back and forth a couple times. He doesn't see what other people are seeing, and he would tell me. But in any case, maybe he's just missing it. And I haven't listened to this one yet. So, with that, folks, we've already gone way over. Another one I got to listen to. This one sounds a little more interesting. Anyways, so with that, folks, it's Friday. I'll try and be out over the weekend. A lot of stuff I want to talk about, and one of them is stuff that's going on and what might be coming. And if you're true believers, you understand what I'm talking about. That what's coming, this age. And I'm also listening to another one on my PC. I guess his name is Joel Richardson. Somebody gave me that video as well. I'm 12 minutes into that one. Sounds pretty sincere. He talks about God, so. All right, I gotta go. Looks like my wife is coming home from New York, so God bless everyone. Peace out.